Welcome to our channel, where we take you to the darkest secrets of the Beyond the Gates series. Where each episode is a storm of emotions and the truth is always hidden behind seemingly harmless eyes. And this time, we bring you a real shock, a past revelation that shakes the whole Fairmont crest. Leslie, the woman who thought she knew everything, was suddenly hit by a cruel and extremely painful truth. June, the mysterious woman who recently appeared, turns out to be no stranger. She is Leslie's long-lost sister, who was thought to have died many years ago in a terrible car accident. No one expected that June was still alive, living in the dark, carrying a deep resentment, and returning right when all the truths needed to be exposed in the most cruel way. This earthquake not only turned Leslie's inner world upside down, but also brought about a series of consequences that crushed her entire family structure, her social relationships, and her belief in the past. Since childhood, Leslie has been haunted by the accident that took away her mother and her little sister. There was no body, no explanation. Only tears and an empty grave. During those years, she always carried the torment that she had lived for others, that they should have lived together. But then, life took Leslie away until June appeared, like a deep cut into the past that had been healed. Unlike an emotional reunion, this time the truth came like a punch to the heart. June did not return with open arms. She did not call Leslie sister, nor did she cry for the happiness of finding her blood again. Instead, she appeared as a stranger, sneaking into the community discreetly, observing everything, silently influencing without anyone noticing. When Leslie first met June, she only felt something strangely familiar, a look, a voice, a feeling that was hard to name. But when the curtain was pulled back and the truth was laid bare, she could hardly breathe. Her sister was still alive, but why did she hide it? Why didn't she speak up from the first day they met? And who took June away from her all those years ago? Leslie began to trace forgotten clues. Blurry memories of the accident that day gradually appeared like a nightmare. She remembered hearing someone scream in the woods, remembering being dragged out of the burning car while June was still in the back seat. Why was only one person saved? She had believed her sister was dead. But now she knew, someone had taken June away, without a trace. Maybe it wasn't an accident. Maybe it was a staged kidnapping. And if so, then the mastermind had to be someone close enough to no one to suspect. June wasn't just a victim, she was a survivor carrying the truth. A truth that not everyone wanted to hear. Leslie was beginning to realize that perhaps her sister's return wasn't a coincidence. Every recent mysterious event bore the mark of someone who knew Fairmont Crest intimately. Who was hiding what, who was afraid of what, who had committed what. Madison's mysterious disappearance, Kenneth's suspicious death, and Vernon's shady behavior all suggested a force at work in the shadows. That force was June, not to reconcile, but to convict. Leslie is caught between two lines. On one side, her loved ones return with scars and secrets, and on the other, the community she once trusted is being stripped of its masks. While Leslie struggles to understand what really happened that fateful day, June takes action. She quietly approaches each person, each fragment of the past, each person involved in the accident, as if she is completing a revenge list. June doesn't need to say much, her actions are enough to keep everyone awake. Her calm, cold, calculating precision and ability to penetrate other people's secrets make her an uncontrollable nightmare. As she investigates, Leslie begins to uncover shocking details, a never-sent letter from her mother, documenting her fear that the family is being watched. An old photo with a blurry silhouette of a woman who looks a lot like June appears at a secret meeting. And most importantly, June's own missing medical records, hidden away in the basement of the old house by someone, as if her existence were taboo. All of which suggests that someone has concocted a scenario to turn a child into a ghost, and Leslie can't sit by and watch things get hidden any longer. She begins to confront each person. Vernon, who has too many shady relationships and was closer to the scene of the accident than anyone else. Martin, who was the family's personal physician, and may have known June survived but kept quiet. Anita, who was her mother's best friend, but always avoided Leslie's questions about the past. Each person has their own reasons for wanting June gone. And maybe her return now is the death knell for those who have built their lives on lies. Fairmont Crest is gasping for breath in the convulsions of truth, as every corner, every piece of memory is dug up and smashed before the light. But the shock is not over yet. Just when Leslie thinks she has reached the end of all the secrets, when she thinks she has understood June's purpose, an old piece of paper hidden at the bottom of a drawer in the room her mother used to use turns everything upside down. It wasn't just evidence that her mother had suspected someone in the family of orchestrating the accident. It was also a copy of the altered birth certificate, a birth certificate that included the name of another child, born on the same day as Leslie and June, but whom neither of them had ever heard of. A third child? A child hidden from both Leslie and June? Or was Leslie not who she thought she was? A hospital mistake? A switch? A trick deeper than any scenario could have imagined? And June, when she learned that Leslie had found the paper, didn't react with anger or fear. She just looked at her sister with icy eyes, then whispered something that left Leslie speechless. "You don't know, the one who should really be afraid is you." In that moment, Leslie understood that she wasn't just a bystander to the tragedy. She might be at the center of the conspiracy that June had been hatching all her life. Perhaps, she was the one who lived a life that belonged to someone else. And if so, was her existence the reason June lost everything? The final question that hangs in the air, but no one can fully answer: if June doesn't come back to be loved, but to reclaim what was stolen from her, what will she do next? Will someone die? Will someone be brought to light? And Leslie, is she really the innocent sister? Or the final piece in a bloody revenge game? Subscribe now, because the next episodes of Beyond the Gates will keep you glued to your seat, as the truth continues to be revealed, layer by layer. Drop by drop of blood, lie by lie, until there is nothing left to hide.